Hello, my name is Bella Ariano. Today I'm going to be telling one of my father's lived experiences. He used to work in Alaska on a fishing boat. He did appear one time on Deadliest Catch, if y'all know what that is. So for about 9 months out of the year, my dad would be out in Alaska fishing, or in Seattle trying to get the boat ready at the port. And so he spent a lot of time fishing during my youth, and just recently he stopped. And there was one time, I believe I was around 8 or 9 years old, and I get a phone call from him. And honestly, he's quite a bit bewildered, and he starts telling me this story. And just for context, my dad is, I would say, a tad bit shorter than me. He's about 5'6", 5'7". And the individuals that he works with, he's Mexican, and the majority of individuals that he works with are Samoan, and they're a lot bigger and a lot taller than him. And so it was one night. My dad was deck advisor, so he kind of overlooks everything, a little bit of a supervisor position on the boat. And so they're out fishing, and normally in their position they net fish. They fish with pretty big nets, but just for fun and leisure they were fishing with rods and poles. So and during a break they were fishing with some poles, and they were kind of just slacked over the boat, and all of a sudden one of the reels starts going and going and going. And so my dad's coworkers jump on the pool, trying to reel it in, but they're really working, they're really having to put their bodies into it. They're the whole tussle, they're really going into it. And so my dad is standing on the deck, he's making fun of them, he's talking about, oh, you can't reel in the fish, this tiny fish. And so he gets down and he's like, all right, like let me take a pull at it. So he's like, there's a bunch of bigger men, all on one pole, really trying to help each other to get this fish. And my dad steps in, and he's trying, and he's also struggling a little bit, but eventually they all come together and they all pull it. And out in Alaska, it's an ocean, right? So not only are you fighting the strength of the fish, but you're also fighting the strength of the water and the waves and all of that. So they're pulling, and finally it's dark, but they have overcast lights, so they're able to see, and they're looking in the water to see if they can see the fish. And they look, and what they see is a pretty tiny fish, so they're thinking this is not the fish that is pulling on the line. But they keep pulling and they keep pulling, and finally they get it above the surface, and they get a net to catch it. And it is just this tiny little fish. It's a tiny little fish, but they had never seen this fish before. So they're looking at the fish, and they take it and they go to try to identify it, and they can't find any identifiers. They don't know quite what this fish is. And so they kind of decide, oh well, this is something that we could eat, and they take it to cook for dinner. And so they go to process it and take the guts out and all that. And my dad, jokingly, because he was the one who kind of stepped in to finally really get the fish on board, he's like, it's okay, I'll process it. So he goes in and he goes to clean, and the stomach was so full. This fish had just eaten something so mighty, so good. He went to process it, and his stomach exploded all over my dad's face, and everybody's standing around him laughing at him. And there's this photo of my father in just fish guts just everywhere on him, just bright orange, and he's standing all awkward, just bright orange, and he's just got purple and red fish guts all over him. And he's telling me this story over the phone after I finally get to see the photo, and it all clicks into place. And I think that hearing my father's stories on his time on the boat is something that really helped me, as I didn't have that time with him. So it just made me really happy that he was having a good time with his friends as well. Thank you.